Hello YouTube and welcome to Limerock, Connecticut site to chase race number 3 of the NRSL Coke Vanilla Cup Series. And first on the docket for this weekend is qualifying, and first out on track will be the 23 of Stephen Paul III for Bill Davis Racing. And this team comes into this race 24th in the owner's points.
So we're on the second leg of our road course stretch. So 30th at Cleveland. His other road course results was 39th at Riverside, and he finished third at Barber. So not a decent road course program. Definitely to be improving as Pollard. It's all about where you start at the road courses. So we'll see where Steve will be able to qualify this weekend.
Christopher Pierce in car 41, the Fujifilm Dodge, comes into this 128th in the owner's points.
Christopher finished 28th at Cleveland. They finished 11th at Riverside, and at Barber 25th. So another decent road course results there. Pierce is out there trying to gain experience, not in the chase, just run out there for wins. So we'll see how they do this week.
Samet Khan, the Shell Penzo Chevrolet car 29, comes into this one 34th in the owner's points.
So Sabet has two straight DNQs in a row. They did make Riverside finish 34th, and at Barber they did DNQ. So not really too strong in the road course for Sabet. So we'll see what he can do this weekend, and hopefully just make the race in the 29 to get some momentum for next year.
Charles Jackson, the Mopar Dodge, trying to get his chase still rolling, and this car, they come in this one 8th in the owner's points.
So Charles kind of looking forward to it. Not really. Last road course he went to, besides the 9th at Cleveland, he finished 41st at Riverside. So definitely trying to improve it. A 9th place at Cleveland stopped the bleeding from the 40th. But in the chase, one bad run can take you out. So he's trying to improve on that. And I believe this is the inaugural Limerock race for the Cup Series.
I'm not quite sure on that. That was... Actually, I think that was somewhat intentional for this race. Charles Sanford, the Anaheim Ducks Stanley Cup champion Chevrolet, comes into this one. The team is 46th in the owner's points.
So since Twin Rig, his best result was a 37th at Richmond, excuse me. He's finished 38th and 39th the 3 races he's made, and he's either been DNQ'd or replaced. So S3 Motorsports is running out of funding and looking for a new driver probably for next season.
Wow. Kev Shear, currently the quickest car on track of 52.52, and this car comes in as 140th in the owner's points.
So what Kev has been doing...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Charles.
Well, no, I was saying I think it's 40th.
So Kev has made 4 straight races in a row. Besides the 42nd at Pigs Creek, he finished 8th, 3rd, and 13th. So the 43 team's got a little bit of the hot streak. Again, the Jessica Shelton car is back out there for Kev, and let's see what he can do this week and try to make 5 straight races in a row.
Cole Deaver, going back to 1957, the Budweiser Chevrolet car number 8, comes in as 13th in the owner's points. As whoa, someone kicked up some dust in a weird spot.
Yeah, so we won at Pigs Creek, 7th at Cleveland, 29th at Riverside, and 4th at Barber. So minus that 29th, he has a pretty good road course results, and we'll see what Deaver can do. They've had a good stretch, last month stretch, not in the chase, but just run for wins, like we mentioned.
Jeffrey McCullough to the top of the board after Charles Stanford had just gone to it. James Qualls, the U.S. Marines Chevrolet FedEx Freight, also on board. The number 11 comes in as 26th in the owner's points.
James Qualls, hold on, I just gotta find him real quick, sorry. All right, here. James Qualls, he had a chance to win Riverside when we saw him last, but finished at 19 with bad strategy. He did win the Sears points, so he has road course win this race this year, so he could be a threat. But 33rd at Cleveland, a 28th, and they haven't had a top 10 at Michigan. They need to find speed if Qualls is going to be a threat again this weekend.
Speaking of road course prowess, Sam Young, the Barber Motorsports Park winner, comes into this one with a car that is 10th in the owner's points.
Yep, Sam won at Barber, and he backed it up with a 2nd place. But the last few weekends for Sam, I think all the pressure with the chases are getting to him. 18th, 31st, and 24th. 27th and 37th to boot. So Sam's trying to find his mojo back and trying to get up there in the chase, trying to win all 3 championships, but it's looking like a tough stretch now.
Jeffrey McCullough currently is 4th quickest on the board now, the Crown Royal Ford, and this team comes into this one 44th in the owner's points.
So the reason why they're moving up so much, the bright side for them, 9, 1, 2, 3, 6 straight, made 6 straight races in a row, which is very impressive because They missed a lot of races early in the season, building some momentum. Maybe since the some of the Roush cars missed the chase, they're doing experiments with him, and it's clearly working. Trying to make a 7th straight race, and 4th fastest is definitely going to help out with that.
Right now, third fastest of the Go homers in this session, as Ali Nelson is currently 9th quickest, the 360 OTC Toyota for Bill Davis Racing, and they are 33rd in the owner's points.
Finished 11th last week at Cleveland, 41st at Riverside in a DNQ'd. Yeah, the DNQ'd Barber. Ali's had a really tough season. They haven't had a top 10 since the 4th place at Vince Arena. Ali and Tom Shilley had the longest drivers without a win in the series, so trying to end that streak for Ali. That are active, yes. So trying to end that streak, and we'll see what Ali can do this weekend in the 360 OTC car.
Zach Rogers, car number 10, the Valvoline Dodge this week, is 12th quickest right now, and they are 23rd in the owner's points.
So 22nd at Cleveland, 9th at Riverside, and at Barber they finished 31st, so that's the last year road course results. Had 3 straight top 10s, but slipped to 18th and 22nd. No 98 car this weekend, so let's see if the 10 car can hit the setup on any help this week.
Chris Washer just jumped up to 2nd quickest. The Cheez-It Chevrolet is 11th in the owner's points.
So Chris has not had a good road course at all. He finished 38th at Cleveland. He did finish 4th at Riverside, I'll give him that, but 42nd at Barber after crashing at the pit exit. He finished 19th at Pigs Creek, so not a good start for Chris Washer, trying to go back-to-back, but the back-to-back is not looking too good right now. As look who's the fastest, holy crap.
I noticed that. Bill Bragg Jr. in the 22 catuse.com Toyota, and the Bill Davis Racing entry is 2nd in the owner's points.
So they start off the chase with a 6th at Pigs Creek, but a 19th at Cleveland. Not too bad because some of the chasers had problems, but definitely need to improve on that. 16th at Barber and a 32nd at Riverside. I don't believe if I have a second. Well, he had a 10th at Thornton, and at Sears Point he finished 28th. So not very good at the road courses this year, as the Lawn Bohemian is blown up.
He's had some sort of issue. He's been in a wreck, that's for sure. Vince Almarego is currently 3rd quickest in this session. The John Mansville Menard Chevrolet comes into this one 12th in the owner's points.
So last in the chase grid right now, that is because of 39th and 25th at Cleveland. He finished 23rd at Riverside and 20th at Barber. Also another guy not good at the road courses, so he needs a good run, but needs to improve his skills, as I think Charles heard about the replacement talks and he put his foot on the gas.
As Jessica Shelton is currently 15th quickest, the Little Debbie's Ford, 17th in the owner's points for this team.
So Jess finished 5th at Cleveland. They had a 24th at Riverside and a 7th at Barber. So the last few weeks have been really good at the road course. The last few road course races. 15th at Pigs Creek, 29th at Richmond. Just running for pride right now. Will return next season, so we'll see what she can build for next year.
Still looking at her options for next season right now, but
yes.
Yeah. Henry Sanford, the Domino's Toyota car 00, is 7th in the owner's points and 6th quickest so far.
So Henry finished 12th at Cleveland, 30th at Riverside, and a 2nd at Barber. Did win Thornton too, so they have a decent road course program this year. Henry's 12th was not a good result, but it stopped the bleeding of a 28th or worse at Spence Arena. Need another good run to help him in the chase right now, so we'll see how they do this weekend.
Zachary Fitzwater in the 19 is currently 17th quickest, and they come into this one 29th in the owner's points.
So Zachary's last few weekends have not been good. They had not had a top 10 finish since the win at Twin Rig. Actually, tough break. 40th at Cleveland, 26th at Riverside, and Barber. They finished 12th. They DNQ'd Thornton too, so not really good road course program for them. But Zachary's going to go out and give his best this week.
Alexander Rowe in car number 2 is currently 7th quickest, and this team comes into this race 58th in the owner's points, or 48th in the owner's points. Sorry.
So Alex Rowe, the light blue car too. They've actually made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the last 8 races, and had 2 out of the last 3 races been top 20 finishes. So Rowe is improving after all the crap we've talked about him this year. He's finally picking up his game. You go, Rowe. Good luck to you this weekend.
Delana Bohemian has finally gone off that pit wall. We'll have to take a look at what happened there, but that is pretty extensive damage, and I think that might be a backup car for the 6. They are 11th quickest right now in this session, and they come into this one 14th in the owner's points.
So just missed out of the chase. 4th place at Cleveland, 18th at Riverside, and 8th at Barber. So not too bad last Euro course results. 36th at Pick Street and a 26th at Richmond. Like we mentioned, a few drivers just going out there for pride. So we'll see how they do.
Trying to see who's going to be the next one. I think we haven't. William Brock, the Interstate Battery Chevrolet, is currently 10th quickest in this group, and they come in this one 42nd in the owner's points.
Okay, so William Brock, DNQ'd Cleveland. He finished 3rd at Riverside, so that was a good result for them, but they DNQ'd Barber. So they make the race, they might have speed. 31st and 37th the last 2 weekends are not very good. I hate this 18 scheme, and I hope they run well this weekend.
Someone looked like they were smoking off of that corner.
It's just a little drift in the tires.
Mark George, the Haviland Dodge, comes in this. They are 13th quickest right now in this session. They come in this one 9th in the owner's points.
So Mark George, 26th at Cleveland. He finished 28th at Riverside, 34th at Barber. But he did finish 2nd at Florence, so not bad. 23rd at Pigs Creek and 26th at, like we mentioned, at Cleveland. Not a good start after the chase for Mark George. We'll see how he does this week.
Final couple of cars. Zach Flickinger, the Napa Auto Parts Toyota, is currently 19th quickest, and they need to make it on speed, 36th in the owner's points.
So they have a weird thing. They've missed 5 out of the last 6 races, but the only race they made, they finished 4th at Texas. So if they make the race, they'll have speed. If not, they're probably going to DNQ again, which it looks like they will.
Yeah, definitely not looking all that promising.
The next car is the 70.
And it's the Best Buy Chevrolet for Joshua Osborne that is currently 21st quickest in this session, and they are 32nd in the owner's points.
So the reason why they're 32nd in the owner's points, 5 out of the last 6 races with a DQ, and they finished 33rd at Riverside. The 70 team has gone into a horrible slump, and I think he needs to be replaced. But anyways, 21st, it looks like a 5th straight DQ for the 70 as he's holding up cars now.
Yeah, it looks like he's off the pace. I don't know. That car doesn't even look like it's got the straight line speed right now.
Nope, and that's a horrible break for Osborne as the 70s COT program might shut down after this week. As we look at the bottom of the results, the bottom of the timesheet, let's see. Simon Olscon looked like he'd go into the house. 70 for sure. Everybody off in the dirt.
So Osborne will get a chance to make some adjustments there and get one flying lap at it.
As we see, whoa! As Kev looked like to make another race there, and that's going to put pressure on William Flickinger to D&Q. Jackson there in the Mopar car. We'll see right there. Let's go through some of the schemes here real quick. Let's make some notes.
I mean...
What scheme is the 22 running?
That was the catused.com Chevy. Or Toyota, I mean.
1957. Red roof on the 10. John Demand.
That 22. Catused.com Toyota.
Yep, Jeff's got a little Debbie one. Domino's, Waste Management. 1970's got the Best Buy. 55 has got the
same
black
skin that they only have for the car.
Light blue. The 6, that's one we gotta check majorly. That's what it kind of.
Deck lid. It's got the sponsor.
Marines, we haven't seen the Marines that much on the 11 this year. 23 is unsponsored. 41, 18 is a horrible looking scheme.
23 also only has the one scheme per your request.
Yes. What was the other scheme?
Trying to remember. There was something that you said you didn't want.
I don't. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It was probably like a Kurt Shelmerdine scheme or something. So yeah, Sam Young is in the back. This 29th. I'll break for Oathville on there. Cole Deaver is really slow this weekend. Got to pick up the pace.
Oh, you know what? I don't think we talked about William Duncan, actually. The AT&T Chevy. They come into this one. He's 15th in the owner's points. Yeah, we didn't talk about him.
Well, William finished 35th at Cleveland, 22nd to Riverside, and 37th at Barber. Need to pick up the program for them this weekend. And 9th place is a decent run, but we'll see where it shuffles out with the groups. Sanford, I can't believe he's been the fastest. Horrible 2 months for Sanford, and this is definitely going to give him a shot in the arm and might give him sponsorship.
It might. Who knows? Let's see if it means Camping World might come on a little bit more. I know
They
they're
might,
still working on their sponsorships for next season. They've said that they've put some deals together for next season, but haven't. They're not far enough along to be able to have announced yet.
what did you tell the sponsorship? Our best run will be 37th. It's like the NASCAR Heat Career Mode. We're gonna get a Tier 1 car.
Well, they've got two top fives, plus they've got that win at Daytona to be able to advertise still.
That's very true. That's like the Trevor Bayne in this series.
Oh, except for the fact that Charles Sanford has like 3 wins in the series.
Well, okay, Derek Hope because he won 2 races.
And that is it for qualifying for group number 1. So Charles Sanford looking safe with the quickest lap time of the session.
For sure.
Kev, McCullough, Alexander Rowe, and William Brock, I would say, also look safe.
Oscon, Osborne, Flickinger looking like they're going to the house.
Nelson. Basically, everyone else would kind of have to wait and see. Does not look good for Oscon, Osborne, or Flickinger, or Zach Flickinger, I should say. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Group 2. But with that, we'll be right back to show you what happens with Group number 2 as we get everything set up from here. So, yeah. And we are back for Group number 2, just waiting for our car to go out onto the track. And there we go. So the first one out will be Isaac Flickinger in car 78, the Furniture Row Chevrolet. 52nd in the owners' points in their part-time effort this season.
Isaac made last weekend, finished 32nd. They made
The
Riverside.
last race he attempted. That was about 3 weeks ago. Or 3 races ago.
I'm looking at the level. That's a really bad field. Anyways, they finished 12th at Texas. They've not attempted 4 out of the last 5 races. It's been COT. The D&Q Vents Arena had a very controversial race there. Finished 14th at Indy at Barber and almost won, but ran out of gas. So we'll see what they do this weekend.
Preston Floor in car number 20, the Home Depot Chevrolet with no store number on it. Comes into this one. They are 25th in the owners' points.
So Plord, since his win at Ontario, has had 1 top 10, 1 top 15. A very struggling few races for Plord. 39th at Cleveland, 34th at Pigs Creek. They did finish 15th at Riverside. That was a second top 15, my bad. But Barber, they finished 36th. So looking for some results for Plord, one of the worst Gibbs cars, second worst Gibbs car in the season.
Actually, they come in this one as the top one in owners' points, so...
Fail.
William Flickinger, the wide-mouth cans Coors Light Dodge on track, and they come into this one 45th in the owners' points.
So William Flickinger, he finished 10th at Cleveland. He finished 10th at Texas, and then DNQ 3 races. Very interesting stretch for him. He's only 58 points behind Kev, and when Kev locked into the race, we'll see if he can...
virtually locked, we'll see.
Virtually locked in. So we'll see if he misses the race, if he wants to gain on Kev. If he makes it, get another top 10 finish.
As Chris Wilson on track, the Garmin Chevrolet, first time in a while we've been able to see him. They are 49th in the owners' points in their part-time effort.
So he's DNQ'd 2. Oh, wait, he did not attempt that race. DNQ'd at Texas, 42nd at Riverside. The only highlight of Chris Wilson's season was winning the DNQ race at Indy, and he finished 2nd at Texas. So the 70 team's been in the crapper, so maybe he can get a good setup to help him out for the next few weekends.
Tom Shelley in the Wells Fargo Dodge on track, and they are 43rd in the owners' points, not far behind their own teammate.
Well, the reason why they've fallen so far to Kev's level is they DNQ 3 out of the last 5 races, 33rd at Richmond, 41st at Pigs Creek. So Tom and Allie, like we mentioned, the longest losing streaks in the series, and keep missing races, that's going to keep continuing. So we'll see how Tom continues.
Well, also, they'll remember the D&Qs aren't counting against their race numbers.
Yep.
Jonathan Zorline in car number 7, the Motorola Ford, comes into this one. They are 3rd in the owners' points.
So the reason why they're 3rd, 7th at Pigs Creek, and 23rd at Cleveland, 2nd at Riverside, a 9th at Barber, a 4th at Thornton, and they finished 9th at Sears Point. So like I mentioned, all the Robbie Gordon cars run good at the road courses. So we'll see how Zorline can do. He's trying to pull the 29 team last year to have a different driver and a different owners' points champion. So we'll see if Zorline can do it this year.
Mohammed Zainabdullah, car number 1, the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, with a little bit of that silverish color scheme going on. They are 5th quickest. Well, time's still adjusting, so we'll give it time as No, you do not need to adjust your screens. They are 27th in owners points coming in.
Well, that they have dropped from 8th to 27th. They've had a dismal stretch of races. I mean, they've been running since the 3rd at Las Vegas. They haven't had much since 21st at Cleveland, 16th at Riverside, and they finished 35th at Barber. One of the Coke Vanilla busts of the season has definitely been at Sewell. So we'll see how if he comes back next year. If not, he had a really dismal stretch. That's a good start to the year.
Will Lewis, the NASCAR race day Chevrolet or Hot Pass or something like that. I don't remember what it is exactly. They come in this one 22nd in the owners points.
So Will Lewis is 42nd at Cleveland. He finished 8th at Riverside, which is not too bad. And they finished 32nd at Barber. And other road course results was the 13th at Thornton, and they finished 36th at Sears Point. So not too good of a road course program for him. 13th at Pinks Creek. So just trying to help out Steve Pollard this weekend with the setup pretty much for Will Lewis. But second fastest, not bad. And Max Anderson to the top.
So far, yes. Johnny Gardner is currently 13th quickest in the early going here. The Kenwood Dodge. Probably a fitting scheme in all honesty, as they are 41st in the owners points coming in.
So Johnny's DNQ'd 4 out of the last 5. Actually, 7 out of the last 9. 30th and 35th, had a chance to win Vince Arena, but kind of choked it away. On a side note, at the time of this recording, Johnny, our prayers with you and your grandmother.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's if you guys
so
don't know.
This will come out about 2 weeks after this real life event's going on.
So hopefully, I'm just saying, your grandmother is still alive and she's in our prayers and she doesn't pass away by the time of this recording. And I wish you the best, man. It's really tough to lose a family member. If anybody who knows what I'm talking about, then will know that pain. So I wish you the best, man.
And like I said, that's why I was saying probably a very fitting scheme in all honesty.
By the time, yeah.
Brandon Patterson, the Carhartt Ford, car number 17, is 8th quickest, and they are 21st in the owners points coming in.
So Brandon Patterson, the Atlanta winner, announced, I'm pretty sure I can say his retirement at Richmond, 8th at Cleveland.
Well,
He's got
we were able to say that one before Pigs Creek.
Yeah, so he's got about 8 races left on his schedule. Just going out there trying to get one last win like Matt Kenseth did real life in 2017. So we'll see what he does.
Steve Pollard, car 33, is currently 13th quickest in this session, and this car is 48th in the owner. Is that 48th? That's 38th in owners points. I'm sorry.
Well, the 38th, but locked into the field. 21st at Pigs Creek, 41st at Cleveland. A horrible start to the chase for the team, but Steve has done pretty well in the original cup. 3 wins in the 33 in the original cup mod. So we'll see how Steve does this week. He needs a rebound or he's out of the chase, because three bad races are not going to cut it. As here's the second fastest car on track.
Max Anderson, the Snickers Ford, is currently 2nd quickest, and they come into this one 35th in the owners points.
So Max has actually had a really good stretch besides the D&Q in the 42nd at Riverside, 16th, 18th, 16th, 17th, a 2nd, 18th, 17th, 21st, and they've had a really good stretch of races since Thornton. The team is a top 20 machine when they make races. We'll see if Max is going to another top 20 this weekend.
Amy Shelley, the Altel Dodge, currently is 10th quickest in this session. They come into this one 16th in the owners points.
So I'm really glad nobody made a meme out of Richmond. I haven't seen it on YouTube yet, so I appreciate it, guys. 12th at Pigs Creek and 17th at Cleveland. Amy's another one going out for pride. That was a man do. No, that's something else. First at Richmond and 6th place at Vince Arena. So we'll see what Amy can do this weekend.
Kyle Matthews, the Cobalt Chevrolet for car 48, is currently 12th quickest on this for this group, and they're 19th in the owners points.
Kyle finished 6th at Cleveland. Does this race go before the Barber race at Hooters?
Better just safe than sorry on that.
Okay, so we're not going to mention that. But 38th at Pigs Creek, 28th at Richmond. It's been a kind of a struggling season for Kyle. The 48 struggled the last 2 years, so hopefully try to build for something for next year if they have enough speed contend next year.
Jack James, car number 4, is State Water Heater Chevrolet with a little bit more of that orangish outline there. They are 30th in the owners points coming in.
So Jack, coming back from injury, 16th, 5th, 35th, and 31st. So I had one good run, one decent run, and 2 bad races. So we'll see what Jack can do this week on his comeback tour.
Gene Sanford needing to pick it up on the speed charts right now. The Orida Ford is currently 14th quickest in this group, and they are 47th in the owner's points in their part-time effort.
So Jean, 39th in her last race at Texas. She has not DNQ'd a race since,
Auto Club, I think.
yeah, since Auto Club. So trying to pick up the pace. Had a decent season for a part-time effort. Jean is always consistent in this series. Almost won at Ontario. So we'll see what Jean can do this weekend in the 47 car.
Trying to get to a car that's actually on track. Chris Louvier, the U.S. Army Chevrolet, the Ginn Racing one, I believe, right there. They are the current leaders of the owners' points right now.
4th and a 15th at Cleveland, so that's why they're in the lead. Chris is actually doing very well. He won at Indy, 3rd at Darlington, but the road course is 10th at Barber, and he finished 10th at Riverside.
And
so another 10th.
21st quickest in this, so.
Yeah, so if they get up to 10th, that'll be a good result for them, but they need to pick up the pace because a bad run will allow people to come back into the hunt, and that's not what the 0-1 team wants.
And right now there is no one more than a race back either, so yeah.
Hello, news.
Mary Shelley, the M&M's Ford, currently is 9th quickest, and they come into this one 37th in the owner's points.
So even though Mary DNQ'd Barber, Riverside, and Cleveland, she finished 3rd at Sonoma, and road courses are her best stats. She won at Limerock in the Hooters series at this type, not the chicane version earlier in the season. So if Mary can make the race, she might have good results, but it's been a really dismal, depressing season for Mary Shelley, trying to improve for next year.
Tim Randolph, car number 60, is currently 4th quickest in this session, and they are 4th in the owner's points.
So Tim Randolph, the Ryan Newman of the series, 32nd at Pickett Street, but a 3rd at Cleveland. The only one of the chasers to finish, I believe, in the top 20 or 15 for that race. So we'll see how Randolph can do. He's currently 4th fastest, but this is not no Final 4, Final 8. If he continues to have a consistent run like he did in the regular season, he could be a threat for the champion without a win this season.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
Yep.
See, who haven't we discussed? Tristan Wilhoit, the Aflac Ford, is currently 24th out of the 25 cars, I believe, that we would have in this group. And they come in this one. They are 5th in the owner's points.
This is the worst track that he'll have. I'll make this quick. 36th at Cleveland. He finished 27th at Riverside, 33rd at Barber. He did finish 3rd at Thornton, but he had a 24th at Sears Point. Motorsport was the 34th. This is Will Hoyt's worst track, so we'll see if they lose points or finally have a good run. But that lap time is not going to gain you points at all.
No, it is not. Dylan Young, currently the quickest car in this session, the Nicorette Chevrolet, the Sinman one actually to be exact, and they come into this one 6th in the owner's points.
So besides the 37th at Cleveland, Dylan Young did win at Riverside, one of the road courses. So let's see if they brought that car this weekend. It clearly looks like they did. Fastest, but not will be on the pole. That will actually not even.
That's not even.
Yeah,
it's not quick at all in comparison.
No, that will get him to 14th on the grid, but still a good result in the chase. Just trying to gain points. That's a beautiful scheme too.
Yeah, the weather just playing havoc on these guys today, and that is why Group 2 is so much slower right now than Group number 1. Is Seth Cole brings out the 1957 scheme for his number 25 National Guard Chevrolet, and they are currently 19th quickest in this session, and they are 18th in the owner's points.
So Seth has had 2 straight top 20s in a row, finished 20th exactly. Let's see if he makes it 3 this weekend. Just kind of coming a little short because we're short on time.
I mean, you say that, we're not doing that terrible on time. RJ Reynolds, the UPS Toyota, is currently 5th quickest in this session. I'm trying to see which one of the stripes it is. It looks like this one would be the brown stripe. Yeah.
Brown stripe, all right.
And they are 39th in the owner's points coming in.
So RJ's had an interesting stat line. 2nd at Cleveland, 4th at Venturia, and 4 DNQs in the middle. So RJ is either having really good runs that they make the race, or just DNQing if he's not. RJ has won 3 DNQ races this year, so RJ's got the speed, just don't have it on qualifying days. And yep.
Sky Commons, the 83 Red Bull Toyota with the yellow stripe for that car this week, is currently the slowest car in this session, and they come in this one 31st in the owner's points.
Well, that's a big ouch because ninth, third, and first, besides the 41st at Richmond, the team's been having a hot streak, making races, trying to gain on the 4 for 30th in points. It was a long shot, but actually, he's actually pretty close, isn't that?
Um,
I don't know if no, that's not even
no,
close. Never mind.
he's about, I would say about
Wow.
300 points out.
Talking about doing an
And
improvement for
Will
Tristan.
Hoyt up to
Wait,
the top of this group.
he heard what I said about him and he put his foot to the throttle, I swear. But if the 83 DNQs, that's a disappointment for him. As if we look at this session, Zach Flickinger and Osborne might have a chance to make
They
this
might.
race.
Yeah. Last but not least, Levi McIntyre with the brand new scheme right there. The
Yeah.
Office Depot Ford is currently 21st quickest in this session. And they come into this one. Where are they? I'm not finding him. I literally. Okay, there he is. 20th in the owner's points.
So, 11th at Pigs Creek, 8th at Richmond, and 27th at Cleveland. So we'll see how they do this weekend for the 99 team. As we see him going around the track, who's the slowest? Tom Shelley, Alex, Chris Wilson. That's going to be a house call right there. William Flickinger, man, that's what Kev wanted to see right there. Johnny Gardner in the 06. That's going to be that's a sad house call right there. That's a tough break. Well, William Flickinger, another pressure. If he can win the race, he'll get the points down to 22 points on Kev. Man, we got a battle on our hands, boys. Ooh. And we're going to Kansas next weekend after this, so it could definitely get interesting.
And that is it for qualifying. So I wasn't able to actually complete the top 11 list, so I don't know exactly who's going to make it and who's not. So
let's see. Oscon ran a 6:21, so yeah, that's gonna make the race.
well, I'm not gonna say yes or no to that. Either way, though,
I'm gonna
that
say
is
yes to
it.
that.
So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Tristan Wilhoit is the quickest of group number 2, but it will not be good enough to even start inside the top 10. The weather just playing absolute havoc in these guys for group number 2, especially. I mean, the winds were the same for both groups, but for whatever reason, group number 2 just could not get the handle with that 21-mile-an-hour wind.
Nope.
So with that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing related content. I'm Gordon Fan 291, and this has been a production of the NRSL. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.